And next up, we've got, shoot, my brain just blanked. I have Kim Crawley is going to be doing telling us about a conference she ran and how we can get on the mailing list so that we can attend the next one.
Hello. I want to thank the organizers of PajamaCon, first of all, for inviting me. It was kind of spur of the moment, but I'm very honored. And the Diana Initiative, although I haven't attended the event before, is very important to me. I have spoken with Cheryl Biswas quite a bit about how she helped start the event. And I've got all kinds of Diana Initiative kits in my desk. And I'm looking forward to attending this year, even if my call for proposal isn't accepted. So there you go. I'm very honored to be a part of this fundraiser. So I have, I think, about 10 minutes to talk about DisInfoSec. So the genesis of DisInfoSec was right after the COVID-19 pandemic got serious in North America, like around mid-March. And all of a sudden, people in our community were talking about doing online events. And of course, the Many Hats Club and, you know, CyberSec Stew and, you know, BeerCon. CyberSec Stew and company host these really great Many Hats Club events constantly. I've been honored to be a part of a few of them and a part of Con 1, which was a lot of fun in December. He started talking about doing some more online streaming events, and then someone else in the industry who I really look up to, Leslie Carhart, had her Pancakes Con. And I found out about Pancakes Con a little late on Twitter, but it was before the event happened. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna reserve a spot so I can attend. And both virtual rooms for Pancakes Con were all reserved. And I was so disappointed. So then I thought, why don't I do my own event? And, you know, and I thought, that's crazy, Kim. You do your own event? You've never done anything like that before. But I pushed myself and I sent out a tweet saying, hey, if we did an online cybersecurity event, but featured disabled speakers, would you be interested? Because I'm disabled. So I figured by focusing on featuring disabled speakers, I could differentiate my event from the other events. And that tweet got like an overwhelming response. It got like hundreds of likes and retweets. So, wow, I guess maybe I should do it then. So quite honestly, I've never done any, like I've participated in online streaming events like this one, but I had never been the administrator of any event like that. And honestly, beyond the scope of the work that I'm paid to do, I don't know what the F I'm doing. I know writing, I know research, I know anything pertaining to writing and research and cybersecurity, but I knew nothing about streaming a video event. So I got, Chris, you offered to help. But basically I had to figure it out myself. I had a lot of encouragement. I set up a web page. I reserved the disinfosec.tech domain, and I plugged a GitHub web page on it. And I opened up for calls for proposals, and there were a few that came in. Now, I'm quite well versed in disability culture, not just cybersecurity culture. In disability culture, if someone tells you they're disabled, we take you at your word. We're not like, I want to see medical documentation or anything like that. So I let people who self-identified as being disabled, any disability, you know, physical, cognitive, you name it, if anyone considers it to be a disability, and if you if you either work in this industry or you've studied information security and you have something to say, then the calls for proposals were open to you. And I got some really, really great calls for proposals. I got like Tanya Janka. I got Jessica Schultz, but she ended up not being able to present because of things that were going on in Minneapolis. I can go to the website here. There were a lot of great presenters. There was a guy named B who was talking about neurodiversity and hacker culture. We had Michael Middleman and Andrea Downing, Spencer Hunley. We had Thinker. We had Sarani McNeil and Asher Lee. And that was, there were some technical difficulties with the early presentations, as you can probably see on YouTube. But I was really impressed with all the content that everyone had. It was absolutely stellar. And especially like Tanya Janka, as you know, is an old pro. So the event happened Saturday. It was originally going to be Saturday, June 13th. And then right at the end of May, early June, everyone was distracted by what was going on in the world with Black Lives Matter, with George Floyd's murder. And I thought, how about we reschedule this to give people a little more space? And people on Twitter seemed to think that was a good idea. So I rescheduled to July 11th. And that was actually pretty good too, because it gave me some more time to figure out how the F I was going to do an online streaming event. So it gave me some more preparation time. And I basically figured out everything myself. I bought like a paid Zoom account so I could host a lot of different people in the same room and be sure that the session would be encrypted. I know Zoom has well-known vulnerabilities, but in the end, I decided that it would be the most pragmatic choice for streaming platforms. So we went with that. I decided to live stream DisInfoSec on both YouTube and Twitch. So I set up those accounts properly. I figured out how to use OBS Studio, just very basically, and use that with Restream, and I tested the various technicalities. I spent $120 of my own money on a webcam because with all this people working from home and using Zoom stuff, the price of webcams have gone up. So, well, I'm glad I got a webcam. You know, that was a good investment in a peripheral. And I thought that it would also be good, even though the event is free for anyone to attend, if we did a fundraiser for organizations that are run by disabled people. Because in the disability community, we usually find that when organizations are not run by disabled people, but they're presumably existing to help disabled people, they don't tend to help us at all. They tend to have a harmful effect. So it was very important to me that the funds that we raised went to organizations run by disabled people. So I'm a little biased because I'm autistic. I chose two organizations run by autistic people, the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network and the Autistic Women and Non-Binary Network, but I thought I should also support an org that helps people with all disabilities. So I did a lot of research, and so organization number 3 ended up being the Council of Canadians with Disabilities. And the fundraiser was very modestly successful. We raised about $700. So now I'm splitting that between the 3 organizations. And I can, you know, even though early on there were some technical difficulties, I consider the event to be a success. And obviously, I've learned things from running DisInfoSec. So if we do it again in 6 months to a year, I'll know what I'm doing a little bit better. So if you missed the event, if you go to disinfosec.tech, there's a link where you can find the YouTube playlist that I created, and you can watch the whole 6.5-hour event divided into 9 videos. And if you want to find out about any future DisInfoSec events, I strongly recommend that you visit the website and sign up for the mailing list. And any important updates will be included in that mailing list. And there's a sad Pikachu. So yeah, I would consider it to be a success. So I'm considering hosting the next one either in January 2021 or July 2021. So we'll see how it goes, whether it's an every 6-month thing or a yearly thing. And that's all I have to say, unless anyone has any questions.
Does anyone want to unmute and ask questions of Kim?
I'll ask a question. Do you think that this lovely COVID pandemic has enabled a lot more people, especially in the disabled community, to feel comfortable going online and attending various conferences? Because I know, at least from my point of view, I think it was almost 4 years I was in and out of a wheelchair. So me visiting a conference was very difficult, and I wish that there was more online stuff. So do you think that it's helped?
Yeah, that is an absolutely excellent question. And yeah, I mean, I'm not physically disabled, but people in our community who are physically disabled, especially wheelchair users or people with chronic fatigue syndrome or conditions like that, definitely not having to go to another city and stay in a hotel and face a venue that's possibly not wheelchair accessible, that's a big bonus. And people don't need as much energy to participate in events from home if they have chronic fatigue syndrome or chronic pain or something like that. I'm comfortable with talking to people online and video streaming for an extended period of time. Sometimes if people have social anxiety, it might help if they can talk to 500 people without seeing what they look like, so they feel like they're just in the comfort of their own home. Yeah, I would say that, yeah, generally speaking, having the event online does make it more accessible to disabled people. And there are a lot of disabled cybersecurity professionals, so that's a plus.
Okay, well, I want to congratulate Kim for running such an awesome event. And hopefully everyone signs up for our mailing list so you can be involved next year. So whoever's got cameras or microphones on, let's give Kim a round of applause.
Once again, the website is disinfosec.tech. I gotta keep preserving that domain name now.
And you can also reach out to Kim for blogging and writing services. You can find her on Twitter, and she's done work for a lot of really high-profile organizations.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.